I'm Gorilla Monsoon.
I'm your host, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Prime Time. Will you stop with the noisemakers? It's New Year's Eve, I understand that, but would you give me a break, please?
What are you going to have, a bowl of Ovaltine and go to bed early?
Well, whatever. I know what you're going to do. We've got some tremendous matches lined up for you here on this special New Year's Eve, direct from Atlantic City, Caesars, here on the boardwalk. And boy, have they laid out the red carpet for us or what?
For me, I know.
Please.
I don't know how you've been
You're
doing.
still stiffed a couple of guys. Mike told me last night, and he's not doing
You can't always believe Mike.
Feature match this week here on Prime Time Wrestling. Jake the Snake Roberts taking on the Honky Tonk Man, the title on the line, that and a whole lot more. Right now we're going to open up with the Macho Man, Randy Savage, as he takes on the sputum green stuff from Killer Khan. Let's go to ringside.
This contest is scheduled for one fall. Currently in the ring, accompanied by his manager, Mr. Fuji, weighing in at 310 pounds from Mongolia, Killer Khan.
Oh, what a mug.
Devious Mr. Fuji and Killer Khan.
And his opponent, accompanied by his manager, Elizabeth, weighing in at 238 pounds from Sarasota, Florida, Randy Macho Man Savage.
The Macho Man, Randy Savage, along with his lovely manager, Elizabeth, making their way to the ring. Hello, everyone. Bruce Pritchard at ringside, along with Mike McGirt and Duke Gordy. And in the ring, the big Mongolian Killer Khan takes a look at one determined man in the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Well, Killer Khan and Mr. Fuji, obviously one of the greatest managers of all time, and certainly no competition with this gorgeous-looking Miss Elizabeth, who ought to be home in the kitchen cooking apple pie somewhere.
Well, Duke, one thing I can agree with you on, Elizabeth certainly is gorgeous. And one thing I might point out, Elizabeth wearing a high-cut dress, it may be to conceal some bruises or maybe some sort of injury at the hands of one honky-tonk man when he threw her down in that Saturday night main event incident.
Well, if she was home where she belonged, nothing would have happened to her. She
She's
would
doing fine where she's at right now. She stands behind her man totally, and she doesn't need to be home. Please,
all
give
you
me a break.
women, all you women.
It took a lot of bravery for that woman to step into the ring like she did with the likes of 4 men.
Well, she's gonna get it again tonight when Killer Khan finishes with the Macho Man.
Killer Khan squaring off against the Macho Man, and Randy Savage goes right back after him.
Savage is also a well-tuned professional wrestler with the WWF, but Killer Khan, a maniac from Mongolia, with one of the wankiest managers in the business, Mr. Fuji, and he's gonna do a number on the Macho Man.
We have a fine example of beauty against the beast here when they show Elizabeth and how pretty she is compared to that face on Killer Khan. And I must say, he looks like he's sporting a haircut that could have been done by Brutus.
Could very well be. Khan missing with the knee, and Savage introduces his head to that turnbuckle.
That haircut is a Mongolian tradition.
And Savage now. And this crowd here at the Sam Houston Coliseum really getting behind the Macho Man is Macho Madness. Reigns in the Coliseum.
Macho Man is having a moment of glory, but believe me, it's only gonna be a moment.
Savage using those ropes to full advantage. And Randy Savage certainly an aggressive grappler.
Elizabeth looks a little upset out there.
She still might be feeling a little pain off of that Saturday Night Live match there.
She had to endure some kind of injury.
She is upset.
Mr. Fuji on the outside of the ring using that cane to choke the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Now that's something that you would never see Elizabeth doing.
Elizabeth hasn't got the guts. She belongs back sewing somewhere.
Khan with that big foot right in the throat area of the Macho Man, Randy Savage. And that ever-present Mr. Fuji with that cane right to the small of the back, Mike.
I saw it.
He was just trying to help him in the ring, that's all.
Not much help there. Savage finds himself not in a good way on the outside as the Mongolian Killer Khan anxiously awaits inside the ring.
Her baby's outside. The Macho Man don't look too macho right now.
And Fuji again with that cane ramming it right into the small of the back of the Macho Man.
He's just trying to get him back in the ring. Get the riffraff out of his side. He don't want a riffraff on his corner. Get over there with Elizabeth.
Referee Nick Kozak cautioning the Mongolian inside the ring to stay inside the ring.
Macho Man showing a lot of pain. A lot of pain.
Sure, he's got a battle in the ring as well as outside of the ring.
Well, that's the way it goes.
Certainly when you face Killer Khan, you must also have to deal with Mr. Fuji. On Khan's part, when he battles the Macho Man, the only person he has to worry about is the Macho Man. Elizabeth is a lady of class, and she is not one to ever interfere in a match.
She is definitely upset now. Watch the Macho Man now, huh? Killer Khan's gonna give him a Mongolian flip.
Nice move that time by Randy Savage and brings
Flip too.
big Mongolian right over.
Guy was lucky. The Macho Man was lucky there. Look at the pain he's in.
Indeed, and the Macho Man with those left jabs and comes off the rope with the elbow and brings the big Mongolian down to the mat.
Look at this Macho Man fly out that time.
Only two as Savage came right off that top rope. And Khan, devastating kick to the throat area.
I wonder how he liked his toenails. That's pretty macho eating them.
Killer Khan going for that green mist, and Savage ducked out of the way. One look of bewilderment. Savage right there, scoots him up, and he's got the win. Savage holding Khan down for the 3 count, and the beautiful Elizabeth escorts her man back to the dressing room. Let's take you up to ringside for the official word.
I don't believe that one. I just don't believe it.
The winner, Randy Macho Man Savage.
The winner of the match, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, as we go back in time and we take a look at the big Mongolian. He spits that green garbage, but nobody's there, Duke.
Look at how he just sneaks around him and drags him down. You call that macho?
Beautiful maneuver by the Macho Man, Randy Savage. He got the 3 count, Mike. And for Mike McGurk and Duke Doherty, this is Bruce Pritchard. Don't you go away. We have more action from the World Wrestling Federation coming your way.
Well, Brain, didn't work that time, did it? That green sputum didn't work for the Killer, did
Well, let
it?
me tell you something about Killer Khan. He's not that really great an athlete or wrestler. The only reason he ever achieved anything is because of Mr. Fuji. Savage just lucked out.
Savage is smarter than Killer Khan and smarter than Mr. Fuji and maybe even smarter than you.
You're smarter than Killer Khan.
Well,
The humanoids are.
you remember what happened?
Oriental humanoid.
Remember what happened last year, Brain? Listen, last week I know you refused my Christmas gift.
I
accepted that package of garbage from Miss Betty.
That was that guy that switched it on you. I know
The
that.
hairdresser?
No, the guy you had there,
Please, give me a break.
that security guy.
I tried to have a little fun with you. I had a nice big box, but
Tracy.
inside it was this little bitty envelope, and I'm going to give you a chance to, once again, accept this most generous Christmas gift. For
That's
you.
for me.
Yes. Second, last chance. Remember what happened last year?
I'll just steam it open and take a look.
Never mind. Just tell me whether you're going to accept it or whether you're not going to accept it.
What is it, a paternity
Last
suit?
year I gave you the beautiful gold telephone. You didn't want it. You refused to accept it. I have it home now. It's
Do you think I'm that dumb? Or you're going to give me 2 good gifts in a year? In a row?
was last year.
Forget it.
You're turning this down?
You know what you can do with that? I'm not stupid, my son.
Well, I'll tell you what I can do with it, Brain. I can put it in my pocket. I'm not ashamed to show you what it is. I'm not a cheap guy. Good old Grover Cleveland, $1,000 bill, specially for you.
I've never seen one of these.
No, and you'll never see one again either. You're not getting it. That's
Changed
twice
my
now.
mind.
You've been zonked twice by the gorilla. Unhappy, aren't you? You want the telephone back? You want the $1,000 bill back?
Don't
You're
have
not
a
going to
phone.
get either, Brain. You want to call somebody? You don't even have a telephone. A lot of new tag teams coming up here in the World Wrestling Federation because the Tag Team Championship of the World, currently held by Strikeforce, has so much meaning, Brain. I know that you... Are you here? Are you with us? It's New Year's Eve, you know.
You've almost ruined my New Year's Eve now.
Well, you're here at Caesars. It didn't cost you a
You give
dime.
me a gift, you won't give it back to me.
You didn't want the
In
gift.
front of all these people, you admitted this was my present.
It was. So was the one last year. You didn't want it. You refused to accept it. Maybe you've learned your lesson. Maybe you haven't. Who knows? We're going to go to ringside right now for this special tag team matchup featuring Ken Patera and Billy Jack. Let's go to ringside.
Well, one thing that Ken Patera and Billy Jack Haynes certainly have in common, that is their dislike for the team of demolition, Axe and Smash. But in the ring right now, Iron Mike Sharp firing off into the midsection of Ken Patera with that right forearm, and Patera out of the way. Nice hip toss. Scoop slam by the Olympian Ken Patera. He puts those boots to Mike Sharp. Ken Patera is not a man that you want to get riled early in a match.
I question whether or not the legality of the arm brace that he's got on. We know he was injured. We know his arm was operated on. But as far as I'm concerned, a brace should be supportive, and that one looks like it's a lot more to me than just supportive.
That's an orthopedic brace, Nick. You know what the purpose of that is.
Well, the orthopedic, that's a wonderful word, but I mean, is an orthopedic brace supposed to be in a wrestling match?
Well, some might argue Mike Sharp's orthopedic brace that he wears, and a lot of times Sharp has been known to use that brace to his advantage.
I've seen him put it on in the dressing room. It is nothing more than leather that goes over a wrist that has been weakened.
Such as Ken Patera.
Yeah. I don't think Ken Patera enjoys wearing that orthopedic brace.
Not at all.
It's something that he has to wear.
Mike Sharp sends Billy Jack Haynes into the corner and follows it up, but nobody's home.
Tell you one thing, you talk about strength of Patera. How about the full Nelson of Billy Jack Haynes? My opinion, Bruce, best one in the World Wrestling Federation.
Very true. Billy Jack Haynes introducing Van Horn to that canvas.
I would like to think that a crowd favorite would be able to make a move without having to drive a man's face into the mat by having both of his hands full of the man's hair.
Ken Patera coming off that top rope.
With the orthopedic brace, as you gentlemen wish to call it.
With the forearm, and Patera sends Van Horn on the outside of the ring and goes right out after him.
Sure, he's got to slam him on the cement. The padding on the cement is very, very thin. It's a tremendous shock to the system. Why couldn't he keep him in the ring and do the same thing?
I don't think Van could stay in it. What is his first name, by the way, Bruce? Is it Van?
Van Horn.
What's his first name?
Van.
And his middle name?
Not sure what his middle name is.
Van, probably.
Van Horn. Ken Patera.
I'm glad you phraseologists have gotten that one straightened out.
Patera sending Van Horn into the ropes. Backdrop. Drops the elbow, and Patera.
No. Drops a nice orthopedic brace.
That's covering that injured arm and elbow of Ken Patera. Shoulder breaker. And Patera continues to punish Van Horn.
Got to be very impressed with the tag team combination. Relatively new. Patera and Billy Jack Haynes work together well.
Very true.
You'd have to say all three of them work together well. Patera, Jack Haynes, Billy Jack, and the orthopedic brace.
Billy Jack now in, and that chop sends Van Horn to the mat with a thud. Haynes a scoop slam. And Haynes almost seems to be playing with Van Horn at this point.
He may be just sizing him up, perhaps, for the full Nelson. Look at that test of strength.
High vertical suplex, and Haynes showing some tremendous wrestling ability, Nick.
Well, at this point, he's demonstrating a lot of strength, which I will admit he has. Both him and Patera are known to be extremely strong. They use their strength. But as far as articulate skill and wrestling ability, I question that.
Ken Patera sending Van Horn down to the mat. That knee into the small of the back of Van Horn.
And you've seen a new aggressiveness in the style of Ken Patera and Billy Jack Haynes since their feud with Demolition. They are not taking a back seat to anyone.
I'll tell you what, they better show some aggressiveness, because Demolition is one team that if you just think you can go out there, what they have done up to this point might be sufficient for the people that they are in the ring against tonight at this moment. But I'm not so sure that that's going to do it against
Billy
Demolition.
Jack Haynes now cinching on that full Nelson for what she has patented. And it's all over. It's all over.
I'll tell you what, he showed you a heck of a full
Here are
Nelson.
your winners, the team of Billy Jack Haynes and former Olympic great Ken Patera.
The winners of the match, the Olympian Ken Patera, along with Billy Jack Haynes, and in very impressive stuff. And as you see, Demolition coming into the picture now, and Pearl Harboring Ken Patera, Billy Jack Haynes.
This is very typical of Demolition. We've seen this before.
And Demolition going to work on the team of Haynes and Patera. A little double teaming here, and Mr. Fuji leading the way, Nick.
Well, neither one of them seem to have an orthopedic brace on their arms as they take and give a double clothesline to one member of the team, and now they're very nicely doing it to the other one.
And it is 2-on-1, I might add.
No, it's 2-on-2. Why can't you count?
Well, now there's it with Mr. Fuji on the outside, urging them on. Patera now going to work. And Demolition now.
And they're turning it around a little bit here.
Certainly. And Haynes with a beautiful clothesline, says one of the Demolition crashing to the mat. As Patera and Haynes now a little bit of 2-on-1 on Demolition.
Oh, what's the cane?
And now that's going to work with the cane, and Patera takes that cane away, and he's clearing the ring.
And he just missed. Smashing smash of that cane. He could have broken that cane over his head.
Well, Ken Patera certainly broke that cane over someone's back, all right.
Well, I would like to think so. I mean, it would look like the brace that he's got is strong enough to do a lot of damage.
Patera and Billy Jack Haynes certainly looking good in this confrontation now after the Pearl Harbor attack by Mr. Fuji and Demolition.
I suppose you had something to do with that as well. Demolition running in there at the end of that match. Didn't surprise me if you were involved in
Not
something.
involved in anything like that. It's their business, not my business.
It's their business.
$800, we'll call it even.
No way, you're not getting a dime. You refused it. You turned it down. Demolition got a little bit more than they bargained for as they tried to interfere in the match with Kenny Patera and Billy Jack Haynes. Plenty more action still to come here on Prime Time Wrestling. We'll be back in just a moment.
750 out the no.
So many things happening so quickly here in the World Wrestling Federation, it's hard to keep abreast of what's going on, but were you surprised at all that the Hulkster flatly turned down the $1 Million Man?
I think everybody really was, because he offered him a future of doing nothing. He'd be financially set, his family would be set.
What makes you think he's not already financially set?
Yeah, but not like this man can do it for you.
Please.
I mean, this man Hogan.
Can't buy everybody, Brain.
Well, I'm only dealing by how I think. You can buy
you got
me.
your price. I know it's not very much either.
Oh, it is. It's very much.
Let's find out exactly how the $1 Million Man feels as we go to this special interview with Craig DeGeorge.
Gentlemen, please welcome at this time my guests. First, the bodyguard Virgil, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Mr. DiBiase, concerning your bid to purchase the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship, I think we can all say that things haven't gone as planned, have they?
Well, well, well. You all heard it here, right on this podium last week. Standing here with the World Wrestling Federation title around his waist, a 330-pound fool. That's right, Hulk Hogan, a fool. I offered this man a stupendous amount of money. So much money that in the minds of you simpletons out there, if I announced the figure, your heads would swim. And one day, Hogan, you'll look back you'll look back and you'll realize how stupid you were for rejecting my offer. But you know, they say there's more than one way to skin a cat. Well, I say there's more than one way to humble a Hulk. And humble you I will, Hogan. I'll bring you right to your knees. I'm a man that's not accustomed to not getting what he wants. I get what I want. I buy what I want. And I want the World Wrestling Federation heavyweight title. And I know a lot of you people there are saying, Hulk Hogan will never sell out. You're saying that he doesn't have a price. Well, just like each and every one of you who has a price for me right now here today, you, Hogan, you've got a price. I might not get it right now, but I will get it. I get what I want. And I want the World Wrestling Federation heavyweight title. I will buy the World Wrestling Federation heavyweight title. And you can take that to the bank.
Well, outwardly, Brain, he didn't seem all that upset, but I know that he's got to be torn up inside. He does have an alternate plan, I understand.
The guy's no dummy. He's got a lot of plans.
Well, he's got a lot of money, so you can buy a lot of things that normally...
Buy a lot of plans.
Yeah, you can buy a lot of plans, but what is this now? This
New Year's Eve.
This is your new hat for New Year's Eve.
Yes. Do you like it?
Are you kidding?
No.
You look like
cheap,
Dr. Watson, Sherlock Holmes' assistant. You remember him?
No, I don't. I'm too young.
You're too young. Well, tell me, do you know what the plan is, what the second plan is? You're good
money.
friends with everybody that
It involves
leaves
money.
a lot to be desired. I'm sure it has a lot to do with money. Forget about it. The fans here in the World Wrestling Federation were most interested, in fact, what the Hulk's decision was going to be. In fact, here's some footage right now of some special fan reaction.
Fans?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad he didn't sell out, and I want Hulk to rip him up.
I think the Hulkster did the right thing. He wouldn't let us fans down.
Anyone that knows the Hulkster knows that he does not have a price for the $1 Million Man.
I think Hulk is #1, and I don't think he'll ever let up to the $1 Million Man.
Well, I think he's right. Why should he sell his belt? He's well earned it, and I think he'll probably hold it.
Hulk's definitely a true American, and I know that he'd never succumb to Ted DiBiase and his money, because the Hulkamaniacs out there mean more to Hulk than any monetary value at all.
I think that he should reject it. The belt's not worth any amount of money like that. He should be able to win it, not be able to just buy it.
I'm very happy that Hulk Hogan didn't take the money from Ted DiBiase. Way to go, Hulk.
Well, just as
Well,
I felt,
nothing. It's surprise time.
What surprise?
Well, remember last week I said I had a guest coming? A special
Yeah, but you wouldn't
guest?
tell me who it was.
Of course not. You've stiffed me and beat me out of everything. I'm going to tell you now who my guest is. My guest makes his home wherever he wants to make his home. He does whatever he wants to do because he can do it. He can afford to do it. That's right, Banana Breath.
No.
My guest is the one and only, the $1 Million Man.
Oh, no. The
Ted
philanthropist
DiBiase.
is here. Give me a break. Oh, here he comes.
Very well said, Bobby. Very well said.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, maybe very well said, Ted DiBiase, but do you know that over the past several weeks this guy's been making some very derogatory remarks about you?
No, I never said a thing about him.
Well, there's a lot of people, Monsoon, that make derogatory remarks about me because I seem to intimidate a lot of people. But people do have a way of changing their minds and their attitudes. Have a good time tonight, Bobby.
Have a good
$1,000
time,
chip.
Bobby.
Sure.
How about have a good time, Gorilla?
It's a $1,000 chip.
I'm Bobby's guest, not yours.
How you like that? Monsoon?
See what I mean?
That'll last you for 2 years here at Caesars. I understand you blew a whole $3 last night down at the
Don't
table.
worry about me now. I got
the
my
machines.
$1,000. Look at this. Guy comes in, just hands me $1,000.
That's, you could have got away with a $25 chip with him. He comes easy.
$25. That's nothing.
Yeah, well, it's a lot to him, this cheapskate. Look at the hat, doesn't even fit him. Look at that. We'll be right back with more action here this week on Prime Time Wrestling and maybe more from our special guest, the $1 Million
hurt
Man,
my neck
Ted
again.
DiBiase. We'll be right back.
It's worse than you.
Pit toss by Dusty Wolf, and Wolf turning the tables now. Sam Houston, but Sam out of the way.
Dusty telegraphed that one.
Well, we're back, folks, here at beautiful Caesars on the boardwalk here in Atlantic City to celebrate this New Year's Eve with everybody. Outstanding matches yet to come, a whole bunch of them, and some real surprises. And don't forget our feature, Jake the Snake Roberts taking on the Honky Tonk Man for the Intercontinental title. Right now, we're going to go to young Sam Houston as he takes on Mr. Wolf. Let's go to
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sam Houston quickly backing Dusty Wolf into the corner. And Wolf retreating quickly.
What was that, a two-step, huh?
Well, maybe so, but it seemed to work, didn't it, Mike?
It certainly did. And then it again, right back into the corner.
Dusty Wolf is just testing the waters, testing the waters.
Well, the crowd here doesn't like it.
Nice arm drag by Sam Houston. And Wolf.
Not too sure, Bruce.
Not at all.
On the other hand, Sam Houston seems very secure at himself.
And Sam Houston getting this crowd here at the Sam Houston Coliseum behind him. Another nice arm drag.
I think Dusty's got a little bit of training here yet to do on this one here. Where Sam Houston, I think, has more experience than Dusty.
Sam Houston backs Wolf up against the ropes. Wolf turns it around. And a forearm right across the chest. Sends Houston into the ropes. Hip toss by Dusty Wolf, and Wolf turning the tables on Sam Houston, but Sam out of the way.
Dusty telegraphed that one.
Nice arm drag, and once again, Sam Houston back in control and has him on the mat, Mike.
Yep. Dusty's not been in too much control here, and I think he's going to have to rethink this one out before he gets back in the ring with Sam.
Houston appears to be enjoying himself up there.
Indeed, Sam Houston always looks as if he's enjoying himself whenever he gets in the ring. And Dusty Wolf with a handful of hair sends Houston into the ropes. Nice leapfrog. And an arm drag. Good move by Sam Houston.
Dusty was a little slow on that one, a little slow, Dusty.
He's been a little slow since the beginning of this match.
Don't worry, he's gonna dust the cobwebs out pretty soon.
He better do it before he loses.
Sam Houston twisting that arm. And again. And Sam Houston likes to keep moving in that ring, Mike. Good example right there.
Yes, he does, and not only that, he stays consistent. When he finds a move or a tactic that he's working, such as this Dusty Wolf's arm, he stays with it. Works him down, beats his opponent down, and then hopefully for the 1, 2, 3.
He may be trying to work Dusty Wolf down here, but don't count him out yet.
The referee will do that, Duke.
I know that.
Sam Houston now sizing up his man, calling an elbow, and Wolf now goes to the arm.
A little payback, maybe, Bruce?
Well, but Sam turns it around. Nice arm drag, goes right back to work on that arm bar.
Houston's gonna get a little overconfident here and make a mistake, and Dusty Wolf is gonna nail him.
Sam Houston asks for the approval of this crowd, and he gets it and delivers that knee. And once again, Sam Houston looking for the approval of the fans here at the Coliseum, and he delivers that knee again, Mike.
Yeah, I need to ask him for more approval. From our vantage point here, I hear Dusty Wolf doesn't sound too confident on his side. He's wearing him down again. What I was saying before, he's on the arm again.
Sam Houston got a nice arm bar on the Wolf, but look at that. How the Wolf snapped right back at that
Good
head.
move, I must admit. Good move.
And Wolf now, leg scissor. And Sam Houston trying to maneuver around. Sam trying to get out of it, maneuvering, positioning himself just right. And he's out. Nice move by Sam Houston. Goes right back to that arm bar. And Wolf that time might have had a handful of hair.
What do you mean a handful of hair? You do what you have to do, and he did it.
You do what you have to do within the rules, and a handful of hair is not within the rules. Nice shot of Sam Houston. You see that head caught in between those two legs. Sam Houston bridging up, trying to pry his head out. Right back to that arm. We saw it on our side, handful of hair that time, Duke.
That was an excellent counter by the Wolf, an excellent counter.
An illegal counter.
Look at Houston.
Right.
Will you
Very
look at
illegal.
Houston pulling that hair? Huh? Look at that. What a disgrace.
That turned out being fair play. Sam Houston grabbed a handful of Dusty Wolf's hair.
Wasn't you that were saying do what you have to do?
Boy, I'll tell you what you have to do. Something, boy, I'm going to come down and give
And
you
Wolf
something.
again. Handful of hair brings Houston back to the mat. The referee was not at the right vantage point to see Wolf pulling the hair and asked Wolf, and Wolf, of course, denies the accusation.
Right.
Sam Houston looks like a little perspiring there, huh? Look at how soaking wet he is, but look at how nice and dry the Wolf is, huh?
Sam Houston now tests his strength, has Wolf back down. And Wolf. And Houston grabs the hair and snaps him right back, Mike.
Yeah, Wolf goes out for a breather or psychology or something outside of the ring.
I don't blame Wolf for leaving the ring after despicable behavior like that, pulling the hair. The referee ought to throw Sam Houston out of the ring.
Well, he got out and left Sam Houston in there to take it from the official.
And Sam Houston wants to get at Dusty Wolf, and Wolf wants no part of it.
Well, he's making him mad, Bruce. This is one thing with Sam. Something like this, it invigorates him. There you go.
And Sam Houston taking the fight right to Dusty Wolf. And Wolf begging for mercy in that corner, and I don't think he's going to find any from Sam Houston.
Absolutely not. Wolf has made a big strategic mistake there by staying out of the ring.
Sam Houston has found something that works, working on that arm, and he continues to deliver the punishment.
Nice moves. Back on the arm again, Bruce.
Houston almost getting the 3 count on Wolf.
Wolf just kind of tapping his head there. Kind of improving his vision.
Elbow smash right into the side of the neck. And Wolf again the aggressor.
Houston looks a little dazed there, don't he, huh?
Oh.
And Houston with those rights and lefts. Oh.
You know, that's something that always amazed me, Bruce, is how Houston can come back. He looks like he almost had it, and then bang, he comes right back with unbelievable speed.
Houston now with the upper hand. Signaling this crowd, and Houston backs him up into the corner. Whip into the right, reversal by Wolf. And Wolf charging right in, and Sam Houston stopped him with that right hand.
There
and here comes the bulldogging headlock.
Unbelievable.
This may be all she wrote.
For Dusty Wolf it is. That's it.
He's got it.
It's amazing how that youngster can, from any position in the ring, apply that bulldog.
It's kind of like a Western sucker punch.
A Western sucker punch.
Yeah, because he gets you from behind.
Listen,
He doesn't do
you've
anything.
been creating a lot of problems here at Caesars in the last couple of days we've been
Have
here.
not?
Yes, you have.
They've opened their doors to me. Red carpet treatment.
Yeah. We're going to find out a little bit later in the program just how bad you've been doing here and how outrageous you've been and some
What
of
do
the
you mean?
demands that you've been making.
They've offered things to me. I haven't pushed my weight around here at all.
You've been humiliating some of the entertainers that are appearing here, pestering everyone for autographs. Why don't you just behave yourself? Stay in your room for a while. We'll be back with more action right here on Prime Time Wrestling in just a moment.
Joan Rivers didn't do that.
An exciting individual coming up next here on Primetime Wrestling, referring to Coco B. Ware, and of course, Frankie, always at his side. And I've got a little, you know, you come out here with your surprises, with your $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. I got a surprise for you and some of the footage we're going to be seeing here today.
Of what?
Of what? Of one of the most outlandish things that you've ever done
Coco
in your entire life.
It's a New Year's Eve.
Humiliation personified.
Let's be in the holiday spirit. Coco B. Ware.
You're a thief.
You gave me $1,000 and took it away, and you call me a thief?
Yes. It was my gift. You refused it. But this is some. I didn't think you could stoop this low, Brain. Right now, let's go to ringside and take a look at Coco B. Ware and Frankie.
From Union City, Tennessee, weighing 229 pounds, the Birdman, Coco B. Ware.
Coco B. Ware about to make his way down to the ring here in Boston Garden. Gorilla Monsoon at ringside here with Nick Bockwinkel. And the Duke came out of retirement for about the umpteenth time, Nick Bockwinkel.
He's done it more than once, has he?
Absolutely. Outstanding reaction from this capacity crowd to Coco B. Ware and Frankie. I guess the guy can't make up his mind, Nick, what he wants to be. He wants to be a commentator, he wants to be a ring announcer, he wants to be a wrestler, he wants to be a referee. He really doesn't know yet.
Well, he's going to have to make a quick decision in about another 15 seconds when the bell rings that he wants to be a wrestler at this moment.
Wow.
Because if he has his mind anyplace else, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
I think that, you know, he should have made his mind up a long time ago because his standing record is 2 and 5,879.
So if I run out to make a bet right now, if I call Jimmy the Greek out in Vegas, I know which way to go.
Yeah, bet the house.
Bet the house, okay.
Bet the house. Coco B. Ware and Frankie. Frankie always keeps an eye on everything. Got one eye on me all the time.
Does he like you?
I think he does. A lot more than Damien does, I'll tell you that.
Damien doesn't like you.
No, Damien does not like me.
I wonder what that means.
Snakes
Birds
don't like gorillas.
Snakes don't like gorillas. Well, maybe what we said earlier about your ancestry.
Maybe so.
Closer to the modern day and age than we thought.
Very unpredictable inside that squared circle, the Duke. Looks like he might have a burn or a knife wound, perhaps, on that right arm.
Could be a rope burn or a mat burn. A lot of them, as you know and I know, you get rubbed along these ropes, it'll take the skin right off.
Of course, the Duke being as wild as he is, it could be anything.
That is very, very possible.
Nice leverage move on the part of Coco to take him over.
Maybe his girlfriend threw hot water on it.
Maybe. Coco looking for a little control here with an arm bar. Is going to have to turn it loose now.
He may have been very foolish if he wants to buy what the group is offering right there. It takes a few years before you go into those ropes and really want to believe that the opponent is going to honestly treat you fair. Once you step in this squared circle, there's nobody really wants to treat you fair. They're playing games if they try and con you in that direction.
I never trusted anybody.
You kind of look like that.
Never. Irish whip got him out of there. Nice shoulder block by the Duke. Down goes Coco. Drop down quickly in front. Over the top. Oh, snap hip lock.
Coco B. Ware, not being that tall, has got tremendous low center of gravity. So for that moves like that hip lock, he can catch a man and really do it exceptionally well. If you're a 6'6" man and you've got a shorter man coming off, you've got to pull him up and then get him over. But with Coco, he can just get you over pretty easy.
Right over the beat to Frankie. As the Duke retaliates with a slam of his own.
The Duke better quit paying attention to his audience and more to his opponent.
He needs to see an orthodontist as well.
He does, doesn't he?
Going to the eyes now. Oh, just planted him there.
The Duke's quite happy with himself. Quite thrilled.
Well, he's got a lot of local supporters here. He comes from the north end of Boston.
As you would know, regardless of his record, if he's been in the ring that many times and has that much experience, at any given moment, he can make those odds change real fast.
Oh, no question about that. Nice block of the slam attempt, and another one. Of course, it helps a lot, too, if you're playing with a full deck. Turning around is fair play as Coco drops an elbow as well, down for the count. He won't get him.
Coco B. Ware covered him very well, though.
Reverse chin lock. Look at Frankie. He's getting excited.
He sure is.
Duke came out of there with a nice sit-out and turn-in.
Yes, he did. Good reverse roll-up by Coco.
Oh, you heard the Duke. He said no way.
He's got that wrist.
This could be number 3.
You think so?
Well,
let's pull for him.
Everything is possible. Going to work now. Left arm and shoulder. He gave that up. Decided to just flail away. Get victory any way you can, I guess. Followed him in nicely with a boot downstairs.
Coco doesn't seem to have much fighting spirit. I haven't really noticed him being that aggressive since he's come into the ring.
Looks very lethargic.
Yes, he does, and that doesn't get it done.
No, and that's very unusual for him because he's usually full of vim and vigor, pep and ready to go.
I don't know whether he didn't take his vitamins today or had a bad day on the airplanes.
Well, that could be. Referee trying to, well, it might be disqualification here.
But the Duke is definitely doing it at the moment.
Look at Frankie. He knows something's wrong.
Uh-oh. All upset. He's wondering where his next bag of C's are coming from.
Not too sure. He could end up in some pot.
You got it.
The Duke was measuring him. He took a little bit too long to measure him.
I like the Duke. He's fighting back. Does the Duke have a glass jaw or not?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's good.
No, he just has he goes off in tangents. That's his biggest problem. There's no rhyme nor reason.
Doesn't stay consistent with whatever he's got that's gaining momentum.
Chokehold right in front of the referee. How long? You expect to get away with that? 4 counts, maybe.
All
that's
right.
about it.
That's all he wants. He can do tremendous damage in those 3.5, 4 seconds.
Duke going to the outside. He's not known for these high-risk moves.
That's exactly what it is. And especially if he's not known for him, then it's really bad news.
Coco's going to be waiting for him, I think. He did. He nailed him. Oh, all the way halfway across the ring with that hammer job.
Oh-ho!
Get the old blood flowing now.
It took him a while to get started. Now he's on the move.
Coco going to work. Nice clothesline right in the sternum area.
Well, he clubbed him a little heavy. If he could have gotten more velocity, that velocity would have ripped the Duke's head right down to the mat. Could have been executed much better.
Backdrop. I believe the Duke is sort of heading down the road of Never Never Land again.
Might be dazing soon.
Well,
he has slowed down from the aggressiveness he had a little while ago.
Whoa, was that close?
That was.
Hooks the leg. You might get him this time. Nope. Can't hold him down, although the tank looks like it's getting empty on the Duke.
Yes, it does. I've got to say this about Coco. He had him 2 times. When you get a man 2 times in the pin position and you've got him down pretty good and he can kick out, don't go for the 3rd one. Change your attack.
Nice suplex. This might put him away. No. Shot that right arm out of there. I think the Duke right at this particular point in time is, oh, look at Frankie. He gave the sign. Here comes a Ghostbuster. Got him up there. Oh, he nailed him. Foot over the rope. He pulled it off of there and got the 3 count. 179.
You're going to remember that, are you?
I definitely will.
Here is your winner, the Birdman, Coco B. Ware.
Coco B. Ware, big victory for him here in Beantown. Let's go back and take a look. Look at this. Frankie said, give him the Ghostbuster. I guess that's Frankie's version of give him the Ghostbuster.
You can hear the animals talk. Is that what it is?
Well, Coco certainly picked it up.
As in boxing, a knockout punch not only doesn't do it on the jaw, but it actually severs the connection at the top of the spinal column to the brain. And this would be the equivalent of it, and that's a knockout blow.
I think he could have counted to 400 right there. Coco B. Ware, big victory here in Beantown. Not too good for the Duke. We'll be back. Once Coco B. Ware lays the gun, you going to sing? Will there be an entertainment charge? You're hearing bells now, right?
I'm not Slapsy Maxie Rosenblum,
I'm not surprised. They're probably coming to get you with a white coat in the net.
I've done nothing wrong.
You've done nothing wrong.
Not a thing
I'm going to
wrong.
surprise you again a little bit later on in the program and show you exactly and prove to you some of the things that you've been doing here at Caesars.
I don't think you understand. I'm not out here. I'm not out here
Atlantic
sitting to be made a fool.
Plenty more action still to come on
make
the
a fool
special
out of me.
New Year's Eve Prime Time Wrestling. Will be back.
Midsection, but to no avail as the Hammer fires right back there. Chop sends Johnson to the mat.
A whole bevy of talent here this week on Prime Time Wrestling. This special New Year's edition coming direct from Caesars on the boardwalk here in Atlantic City. The Hammer's going to be with us.
Well, New Year's Eve, where would the Hammer be?
I don't know. Where do you think? Maybe Memphis with Jimmy Hart, his new manager.
I doubt it. It's New Year's Eve. Memphis is usually closed during the week.
It is not.
So nothing happening. Place.
Please. Let's go to ringside right now. Take a look at the master of the figure four leg lock.
This contest is scheduled for one fall. To my left, weighing in at 230 pounds, from San Antonio, Texas, Ken Johnson. His opponent, at 248 pounds, from Seattle, Washington, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
The Hammer, Greg Valentine. Hello, everyone. Bruce Pritchard at ringside, along with Duke Doherty and Mike McGurk. As we take a look at the Hammer.
He had a beautiful robe. You see on the back there.
I bet you'd like to have it, wouldn't you, Mike?
Sure would. I could make a nice dress. Of course, I'd leave that out. I wouldn't need that.
Indeed, a very beautiful robe.
You cut out the best part of it. The Hammer, absolutely phenomenal. One of the greatest ring geniuses in the business today. Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Ken Johnson has his hands full with this match.
He's looking for a lucky night tonight, Ken Johnson, a lucky night.
The Hammer slowly taking his robe off.
The Hammer giving up. The Hammer has absolutely got a fabulous physique.
Hammer backs Johnson up into the corner. Delivers a forearm across, collar and elbow now. Johnson with a side headlock.
Johnson's giving up a few pounds here to the Hammer.
And Valentine just drops him back with ease.
The Hammer is a specialist in suplex, a specialist. Trying to shake.
Collar and elbow, back up against the ropes. Oh, what a chop.
Wow.
Now that was a chop. And that was another one, unbelievable.
Flying mare, and Greg Valentine having an easy time with Ken Johnson.
It's almost like he's saying, so you want to fight me? And here he's giving full proof of what it's like.
Johnson just laying it out there, man, wishing that he never signed this one.
You've got to start somewhere. You start with the best.
That's true.
And Valentine just stays on him.
Oh.
Drops all of his weight right across the legs of Ken Johnson.
Greg the Hammer is just toying with Johnson here, just toying with him.
Looks as if Valentine has a smile on his face, enjoys delivering punishment.
Wow, did he drop that hammer?
Whew. Oh, he picks him up by the head of his hair.
Johnson's head is definitely ringing. You know what it's saying? God, why did I ever sign this contract? Look at the hammer, just toying with him.
The Hammer bringing Johnson to his feet. Johnson punching to the midsection, but to no avail as the Hammer fires right back, and that chop sends Johnson to the mat. Well, Greg Valentine wanting to know where Beefcake is, referring to Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yeah, watch this suplex here. The Hammer's a specialist in it.
I bet he hopes Beefcake is watching. Oh my.
What a suplex, and the Hammer is getting set to deliver the Hammer.
The Hammer is phenomenal tonight. He's enjoying himself. He's having a good time out there. He's loving every second of this. Look at him.
And Valentine now going for the patented figure 4 leg lock. And I don't think that Kenny Johnson is going to get out of this one.
He's not going to waste any time on this one to submit.
The referee has called for the bell as Valentine breaks the hold.
The winner of the match, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
The winner, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and he made easy work out of Ken Johnson, finishing him off with the patented Hammer, and then the figure 4
and then
leg lock.
some, yeah. Goes back to him.
He showed a lot of mercy tonight to Johnson. He's after the barber.
I'm sure Greg Valentine is looking for Brutus the Barber Beefcake. For Mike McGurk and Duke Doherty, this is Bruce Pritchard. We have more action coming your way, so don't go away.
The Hammer, indeed, the master of the figure 4 leg lock. And you know, Brain, just a couple of weeks ago here on national television, he had a match with Brutus the Barber Beefcake and managed to slap on that figure 4, but not quite the way that he wanted to do it.
Oh, but the day will come when you will hear Brutus's knees like this.
Please. Those sound like your knees. You know, when he slaps that thing on, if he applies it properly, he can do severe damage to the lateral collateral ligaments of the knee, but that's not the case, because I spoke to Brutus earlier on this week, and he's motoring along pretty good.
You must have a lot of time on your hands wasting it talking to that loser.
That's not a waste of time. It's a waste of time to sit here and talk to you and to try to cover up all the things that you've been doing down here in Atlantic City since we got here.
What have I done here in Atlantic City?
You know how many phone calls I got today from management concerning you?
Here at Caesars?
Here at Caesars. You're not surprised, are you?
If I have to call my buddy Mike up here, he'll just throw you out of the hotel. You'll be sleeping on the boardwalk with the rest of the tranches.
And now, performing our next nominated tune is a man who has repeatedly proven that he cannot talk, and who tonight will prove that he can't sing either. Vince McMahon performing, and I believe this is good advice for all of you here and at home, to put your fingers up your ears and stand back. Vince McMahon. a lot of big plans. Stand back.
Stand back.
Stand back.
Stand back.
All of you who want to bring me down, I have you. Stand in my way. I promise you will lose. Stand back.
Stand back.
Stand back.
Stand back.
I never will be just an ordinary guy. I always push harder, reaching for the sky. Stand back.
Stand back.
That's a fact.
Stand back.
I'm a man running wild, headed for the top. Never slowing down, and I'm never gonna stop. On the way, you're gonna see a lot of men drop. Baby, watch them drop. Baby, baby. Yeah. Baby, 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 watch them drop. Stand back. Stand back.
Stand back.
Stand back.
Stand back.
Stand back.
Stand back.
Man running wild, headed for the top. Never slowing down, and I'm never gonna stop. Along the way, you're gonna see a lot of men drop. Baby, watch them drop. Baby, baby, headed for the top. Stand back.
Stand back.
Stand back.
Stand back. Stand back. Stand back.
Stand back. And the winner is... Oh, no. This can't be right. It's right. Well, I'm not going to read it. Here, you read it.
King Harley Race?
Well, it happened. The king would like to thank all the low-life 8-to-5 humanoid subjects, and even this discount store low-life back here who's holding his board in his hand. But you see, the king can't accept this Slammy unless he is properly presented with the Slammy. That is woodpecker breath. You have to get down on your knees and show proper respect like this, hacksaw. Go away, this man's falling. Go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gorilla Monsoon.
Oh my God, did you see that? Give me that microphone. Is that thing plugged in? Let me have that. While the action is taking place back here, right by Pierre's makeup area, he's long gone. In fact, this whole area is cleared out. All those workers have all run for cover. Look at that. The brain in the dumpster right where he belongs. Boy, has he made a shambles of this black tie Slammy affair. He's disgraced everyone. Look at these chemicals that they're throwing at each other. Right in the eyes and the mouth. Oh. Harley, I don't think he can see. The king may be blinded out there. This feud has been going on here in the World Wrestling Federation for the past 6 or 7 months, and obviously a long way from being over. Boy, these guys have got a real hatred for each other. Oh, look at that. Some kind of powder chemical right in the face of Duggan. And now chickens, donkeys at the Slammies? I don't understand that at all. They're going at it. The Brain has just disgraced himself completely here. He's screaming from the background. Notice he's not getting too close to Hacksaw. Chickens gone flying here at this first black tie affair in the World Wrestling Federation. And the King is down. Oh, right by the throat. Give it to him good, Duggan. Look at the Brain now, down right next to the donkey. I don't understand what a donkey's doing here at the Slammies. Look at the Brain, right underneath the donkey, running for his life now. I knew sooner or later he'd make an ass out of himself. Right into the electrical utility area. Give me a break. Hundreds of thousands of volts supplying the stage area from that area. Where's the security? We need some security guards back here. Right on top, somebody could get electrocuted here. In the meantime, Brutus the Barber's on stage making the presentation for Best Head, and we're going to bring you that result as soon as we get it. But they're still going on. Hammer and thong here. Who knows where those electrical lines could be running in this room. Right face first. Look at the Brain. Why don't you get in there, you coward? Still slugging it out. There's that big scream by the Hacksaw, and he's unloading now, right after right. Oh, and the King wham. Oh, here come the results now. It's a tie for the Best Head. Bam Bam Bigelow and King. No, it's Bam Bam Bigelow and me, Gene Okerlund. Yes, if they only knew what was going on back here. Folks, we're going to try to keep you abreast of all this action back here, but oh, look at that. But right now, let's take you back to our Slammies presentations.
All right, we want you to hold your applause till the end, because right now, it's a musical tribute to the greatest hits of 1987, Slammy Style. Hey, Jesse, that was really great. But among all those hits, how could we possibly pick the greatest?
I've narrowed it down to 5 nominees, and you can read them, Chrome Dome.
We're back here at Caesars on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. What a tremendous time. What are you looking at your watch for?
I've called for beverage service. Of course, service here at Caesars is tremendous anyway.
Give me a break. It is always tremendous here at Caesars. What's wrong? Oh, here she comes. Kate, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Oh, great. Oh, look, she's got champagne for us, Brain. I
That's what
love
she's
it.
dealing with here.
New Year's Eve? How could
Right
you
here,
spend
Toots.
New Year's Eve without any
This is
champagne?
for you, and thanks for the lovely tip you left on the table last night.
Why, you snake. A quarter. You left Kate a quarter last night? You told me you were going to take care of the tip.
Somebody must have waxed me.
Waxed you?
Somebody probably picked up my tip and left this.
What'd you leave?
Probably
What'd you
did.
leave, a dime?
I left $50 for her.
Get away. You never left $50 in your life. Give me a break. Talking about interesting things coming up here on the USA Network. In 1988, a big special, January 24th, a Sunday night, live right into your living rooms, the Royal Rumble. What do you know about the Royal Rumble?
It's kind of like a reverse battle royal.
A reverse battle royal?
Yeah. Like, let's say there's two guys in the ring. Every couple minutes, another guy comes down. Eventually, the ring could be full of 20, 30 people.
Has this been explained to you? Do you know exactly
No.
what you're talking about?
Yes, I
No, you
did.
don't. Okay. Here's what's happening, folks. There are 20 men involved in this Royal Rumble. They each have a number. Nobody knows who's got number what. We start out with number 1 and 2 inside the ring. After 2 minutes of wrestling has gone on, number 3 will enter the ring. And so the procedure continues until all 20 men have been called to the ring. At one point, there could be 8 against number 7 coming in. Could
I
be
knew
15 men left at the end. But the ultimate winner will be the man who remains, the last man to be thrown over the top rope and down to the floor of the arena. Other interesting matches also involved here in the Royal Rumble. Ladies Tag Team Championship on the line.
Glamour Girls?
Against the Jumping Bomb Angels, who I think, Brain, are going to be the next ladies champions of the world.
No way.
No way.
Can't be done. Jimmy Hart's got them keened, tuned, and they're ready.
Another interesting tag team matchup, the Killer Bees against Demolition.
I go Demolition.
You go with them. Why? Because of Mr. Fuji?
He's a very strong factor, but the Demolition, they're ready. They're
Talking
ready.
about strong factors, let's talk about Dino Bravo, former Canadian heavyweight champion. He's going to attempt to break the world's bench press record of over 700 pounds. Do you think he's capable of doing that?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Very strong upper body. And he's a determined man. Very
Not
determined
too much
man.
upstairs, though.
And he has Frenchie Martin as his manager.
Well, you consider that a plus?
I do.
You
Yes,
do.
I do.
It's coming your way Sunday night, January 24th, right here on the USA Network, a free attraction, sort of a tribute to the World Wrestling Federation and a fan appreciation night, so to speak.
Yeah, fan appreciation. Humanoid night.
We're back here, folks, at Caesars on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, where we're having a tremendous time, this special New Year's Eve presentation. How conveniently the Brain just sort of weaseled his way right out of here.
He just wanted to get to the tables.
He wanted to get to the tables. He's left a lot of bad markers everywhere.
He's got a lot more now.
Now what? Now I suppose you think you're the host.
Well, of course I'm the host. I took his place, didn't I?
Please. Ted DiBiase, give me a break. Where's Virgil?
Virgil's getting his beauty sleep.
Yeah, he needs a lot of it. You could use a little bit yourself.
I beg your pardon.
Special matchup coming up right here now on Prime Time Wrestling, courtesy of Superstars of Wrestling, tag team action personified. The British Bulldogs taking on the Islanders. Let's go to ringside.
Approaching the ring area, led by their manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan, from the South Pacific, at a total combined weight of 503 pounds, Haku and Toma, the Islanders.
They are something else. These Islanders are tough, no question of that. But I think they're going to meet their match here in the British Bulldogs.
I don't necessarily think so.
And their opponents, to be escorted by the Alaska Matilda from England, on a total combined weight of 474 pounds, Davey Boy Smith, the Dynamite Kid.
Look at Matilda.
The British Bulldog.
Do I have to?
Matilda in the ring, along with the British Bulldogs. Look at Bobby the Brain Heenan pointing at Matilda.
Look at that dog. Look at that.
Whoa. Look. Going after Heenan. You can't blame her.
You can't blame her.
No.
What did Heenan do?
He was taunting her.
Taunting her.
Yes. Heenan pointing at Matilda.
Well, it's obvious Heenan's telling the referee to get the mutt out of the ring. They're not getting in till that vicious dog's removed.
Tough Islanders and Heenan are afraid of Matilda. All three of them went right out of the ring like three cowards, for God's sakes.
You ever had a dog bite, Bruno?
Yes, I've been bitten by a dog.
Yeah,
As a
did
matter
you
of fact-
have to have rabies shots?
Look at Matilda. Yeah. Oh, she almost got him. She almost got him.
Get that dumb dog out of there!
Wait a minute.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, you get that dirty, flea-bitten, miserable, mutt, rabid, vicious dog out of here, or you're not going to have a match. There'll be no match unless something's done about that flea-bitten, filthy, rabid, vicious mutt.
That's not a rat.
I got to concur with Heenan totally. I don't blame him at all.
I think he's going back. There isn't going to be a match.
That dog's been attack trained, has no business in there.
She hasn't been come on, give me a break.
What do you call what she does? She running up to get petted? She ain't looking for a milk bone out there.
So that's reason for them to just take off like this? Tough team like the Islanders, managed by Bobby Heenan, just to take off because of Matilda.
Wait a minute.
Well, what next? Can they bring a rhinoceros in there?
Well, Matilda's out on the platform now, I think, where she can't do anyone any harm at all.
What are you talking about? She can run right under the bottom rope and get right back in there.
They're holding her by the leash there. I think Heenan's looking for Matilda. And the Islanders coming back to the ringside area. What's Heenan doing now?
Nothing. He's talking with Hebner, the referee.
Heenan's giving the Islanders a...
Look at Matilda waiting to spring at somebody.
She's not waiting to spring at anyone. Bobby Heenan taunting the Bulldogs from behind. Look out! Here come the Islanders! Islanders taking over. You can't begin this match until you only have 2 men in the ring.
Yeah, but you can end it without it.
Look at Heenan. Heenan yelling at Matilda. Yelling at her.
What's Matilda saying back?
The Islanders. My goodness. Come on, the referee's going to have to separate these two.
Has there been a bell? I haven't heard a bell.
No, he's trying to get some control here so we can have only 2 men in the ring.
Well, now we're down to 1 man in the ring. Now we got 2 men in the ring.
What are they doing? The Islanders are leaving. What are they doing? No, wait a minute. They're taking Matilda away. They're running out of there with Matilda.
You know what? I'll tell you something. They don't know what they're in for doing this. I heard that
Bulldogs coming after him. Bulldogs are coming after him.
You know, Heenan and the Islanders might have made a big mistake here because I heard that dog ain't house trained.
Where are the Islanders? Where do they go? The Bulldogs on their way trying to find Matilda and the Islanders. We'll be back.
One of the most despicable things I've ever seen done in my 25-plus years involved here in professional wrestling.
And what was so despicable about that?
What was so despicable about that? Stealing Matilda.
Well, I think
I told Brain he was a thief.
I think he should have taken the junkyard dog with him, too.
Please, give me a break. I suppose you condone that?
Well, of course. It's just a mutt.
Just a mutt?
Just a mutt.
Someone's pet. Don't you have any pets?
Yeah, but...
You're counting them right now, right?
Of course.
A little bit upset here this week on Prime Time Wrestling for what Bobby the Brain Heenan and the Islanders have done. Our special feature coming up in just a moment. We'll be back.
Actually,
Feature time here this week on Prime Time Wrestling here in Atlantic City at lovely Caesars, where everything and anything that could happen will possibly happen. We're going to be looking at Jake the Snake Roberts, Intercontinental title match, golden opportunity for the former champion to get his hands on the title once again from the Honky Tonk Man. What do you think?
What do I think? Well, Jake the Snake Roberts, I have to admire him a little bit because he's a lot like me. He prides himself in being a very cunning,
got a lot of money,
devious
too.
individual. A lot of money. Give me a break.
You
That's
got all
peanuts.
the money, right?
Of course.
You got all the money.
That's right. And he's no competition for the Honky Tonk Man.
Where do you think the brain went with the grand you gave him?
He went to the table.
He's probably halfway home by now.
Oh, come on.
Cheapskate. He blew $3 in the slot machine and cried all the way to his room last night.
Well, I got news for you. He's got a lot more money coming.
He does, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You should hear some of the things he had to say about you in the last several weeks here on Prime Time Wrestling.
People have a tendency to change their attitudes after.
To your face, Mr. DiBiase, he'll say one thing. Behind your back, he will say another. Of course, his price isn't too much. About $1.98 is all it takes to buy him. You wasted about $900 on him. Did you know that?
Peanuts.
Peanuts. Let's go to ringside right now for this special Intercontinental matchup.
This is a title bout scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Stone Mountain, Georgia, weighing 247 pounds, Jake the Snake Roberts. And his opponent, soon to be making his way to the ring area, accompanied by his manager, Colonel Jimmy Hart, from Memphis, Tennessee, weighing 243 pounds, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the Honky Tonk Man.
The Honky Tonk Man making his way to the ring to defend the Intercontinental title against none other than Jake the Snake Roberts. Hello, everyone. Bruce Pritchard at ringside, along with Greg DeGeorge and Nick Bockwinkel, and a tremendous matchup for the Intercontinental Heavyweight title.
Indeed it is. I'm looking forward to this one. And also, you got to remember, well, you got Jimmy Hart on the outside, and you might want to even think about Damien. You might not want to think about Damien.
I would prefer to not think about it.
Very true. In the corner of the Honky Tonk Man, the ever-present Colonel Jimmy Hart.
I think one thing you got to point out, we've been hearing time and time again from the Honky Tonk Man, that he is the greatest Intercontinental champ of all time. This match right here may attest to that statement one way or the other.
Yeah, the Honky Tonk Man getting out of his apparel that he wears to the ring. And no doubt about it, Honky Tonk Man has held on to the Intercontinental title a lot longer than most people would have ever imagined, Nick.
You're right. I wonder if it'd be poetic justice if Damien could drag Jake the Snake Roberts out to the ring in a bag. I mean, well, if you were Damien, how would you feel?
Well, I'm not sure of the feelings of Damien. However, Jake the Snake Roberts is ready, and he has a score to settle with the Honky Tonk Man and would like nothing better than to take that title away.
He would like to. And I guess he's quite determined, as he's showing right off of the bat.
Indeed, Jake the Snake Roberts with rights and lefts sends the Honky Tonk Man to the mat, has it right back up with those left jabs, Greg.
I'm wondering, of course, if Jake the Snake will be able to put the DDT. Of course, if he can, he'll win the match. And I think that's something we got to look at.
Very true. Jake the Snake Roberts, certainly the aggressor thus far in this battle.
Showing great wrestling skill and ability at this point. Said facetiously, gentlemen.
This is a terrific matchup.
Jake now has Honky Tonk Man in the corner. Those right hands sends him across the ring in the opposite corner. Oh, my! And Honky Tonk Man with that knee right into the chest.
That makes the Snake's dentist happy to see that move.
Excellent defensive move, though, by Honky Tonk. He turned it actually to an offensive move.
Absolutely. The key to a great wrestler is to be able to take a move and make it both defense and offense.
And Honky Tonk now, the right hand to Jake the Snake Roberts' head. And into that top turnbuckle, and Jake fires back. Maybe a little bit groggy.
Gotta be. When a man starts throwing forearms and a fist and a punch, and he's throwing it into midair, then you know that he's dazed. He might be on his feet, but he is not cognizant of what's going on.
Nice knee lift that time by Jake the Snake Roberts. And Jake going for the DDT, as you pointed out earlier, Craig, and Honky Tonk knew what was coming.
And he tossed him right out of the ring. I thought he was looking for a breather, but no, not at all.
And Jake the Snake smashes heads of the Honky Tonk Man and the Colonel Jimmy Hart, and he's not going to let Honky rest for one moment. And Jake sends the Honky Tonk Man right back into the middle of the ring because he knows he can't win the title on the outside.
Well, DQ won't do him any good.
He knows that, but he may have made a very dumb move in attacking his manager, Jimmy Hart, this early in the match.
Well, Jimmy Hart attacking Jake the Snake Roberts right there, grabbing his foot and smacking him.
Turnaround's fair play.
And Jake fires the lefts and rights to the Honky Tonk Man and sends him in, and he wants Jimmy Hart.
I think that's a point well taken, Nick, because if his concentration goes to Jimmy Hart and not the Honky Tonk Man, well, the match could go up in smoke as well for Jake Roberts.
Jake the Snake Roberts making a real heavy vie here to get the Intercontinental title right back where it originally was, back in his pocket. Honky Tonk Man in a lot of trouble, the mouth of the South. Jimmy Hart, real concerned. This one a long way from being over. We'll be right back.
As much as these men are great physical combatants, there's a tremendous ego game going on here, as we all know. They want to be admired and respected by the crowds. They want that adulation, but you cannot let the roar of that crowd affect your ego to the point that you make some dumb, stupid move by chasing the manager around the ring. You can't pin the manager, you've got to pin the opponent.
And really, when you're talking about mental capability, the psychology, really, that is the forte of a Jake the Snake Roberts.
Right there, the Honky Tonk Man, a very conceited individual, and he's not concentrating right now, anyway, on the man in the ring.
Why would you say Honky Tonk's any more conceited than Jake the Snake?
Well, Honky Tonk Man, when he had the man down, turning to the camera and dancing for the camera, I don't call that
smart business. No, I agree with you.
So on the outside, Jimmy Hart going to work on Jake the Snake Roberts, while Honky Tonk distracts the referee.
One might say he inspired Jimmy Hart early in this match.
Honky Tonk Man now on the outside of the ring, going to work on the down Jake Roberts.
Those forearms across the Adam's apple, they will do a lot of damage. If the man can't breathe, he can't get oxygen, he can't move.
I think this matchup turning out to be everything we expected. Both have had their shots thus far.
Honky Tonk Man drops that fist right to the forehead of Jake Roberts. And now, what could be a very crucial mistake for the Honky Tonk Man. He has not yet gone for the pin. And there, Jake Roberts out of the way, and the Honky Tonk Man missed with that big elbow.
Rang it up, but no one home.
You don't want to give your opponent an extra couple of seconds at any time.
Honky Tonk Man going into the corner, nobody's home as Jake Roberts tries to regain his composure.
Talk about quick as a snake.
Very true.
He slithered out of that one.
And Jake Roberts with those left jabs that only Jake Roberts can throw. Whip it to that clothesline.
Can he do it? This is the position he wants to get all of his opponents in, but he is fooling with the Intercontinental Champion. That makes a difference. When you are a champion, there's that little extra added sixth sense, that instinct that you know that you have to have.
The Honky Tonk Man with the Colonel's megaphone with a blow right into the midsection of Jake Roberts, and the referee has called for the bell.
Undoubtedly, Honky Tonk realizes the referee saw him. He didn't even try to give it back to Jimmy Hart.
I think he may have realized he was in trouble.
The winner of this bout, resulting from a disqualification, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Well, the referee, Joey Morella, disqualifying the Honky Tonk Man for the use of that megaphone and awarding the match to Jake the Snake Roberts, but Jake's not through with the Honky Tonk Man.
Talk about revenge. Championship match for Jake, and Honky Tonk goes for the out and gets a disqualification.
And Jake Roberts right now signaling for Damien as he has a Honky Tonk Man tied up in those ropes, and we're going to see Damien come out.
I'm sorry, but I find this tremendously repulsive. I can in no way, shape, or form see the significance or actuality of why this snake should be in the ring, why everybody should be forced to endure.
Jimmy Hart coming from behind, and Jake's got him with Damien. Damien all over Jimmy Hart, and he doesn't know what to do.
The two of you are sitting here like a couple of perverse kids enjoying this.
I do enjoy it. Jimmy Hart getting what he deserved.
I think the fans are enjoying it as well.
You better believe it.
Please, gentlemen, please, show a little class.
And Jake Roberts.
Should we bring the snake up here to the sports stand and have him drag all over you?
I personally am not a fan of snakes. However, Jake the Snake Roberts giving Jimmy Hart exactly what he deserved, introducing him to Damien.
He seems rather lethargic this evening, doesn't he?
Indeed, Jake the Snake Roberts, your winner, as we take a look. Jake going with Damien, and in comes Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, he tried to put the snake on honky tonk, but Jimmy Hart trying to sneak from behind, could not get the megaphone on Jake. Look at that.
And Jimmy Hart not too happy with the presence of Damien. For Craig DeGeorge and Nick Bockwinkel, this is Bruce Pritchard. Don't go away. We have more action coming your way.
Wow.
Well, the Mouth of the South, a pretty smart individual. One way or another, they managed to hold on to the championship belt, even though it was a disqualification involved. You know, it's amazing that once you have the title, which you don't have, incidentally.
It's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. It's relatively easy to hold on to it because you can only lose it on a pinfall or submission.
Hulk Hogan should know that very well.
Well, he's been champion for over 3 years now. There have been some other champions in the past that have held it for quite a bit longer, such as the Fabulous Moolah, held the ladies' title for, what, how many years? Understand she won it the first time during the Roosevelt administration. Is that correct? Did I hear you say that to somebody last night, DiBiase?
No, I didn't say that.
You didn't. Bruno Sammartino held the world's title for over 10 years at one stretch. Another has been. You don't have any belts. You don't have any titles.
Like I said, Monsoon, it's only a matter of time. You see, I always get what I want. Always.
Maybe not the first time. You didn't get it the first time, did you? Turned down flat. Money didn't work that time, did it, Ted?
He was a fool.
He was a fool.
Complete fool.
You think you're the only one that's got money. Other guys have money, too. World's heavyweight champion makes a very nice living.
Oh, he makes a great living. He probably has all the creature comforts that he could stand, but he doesn't have independent security for life, and I could have given him that.
Yeah, and he has something that you want desperately and don't have, and that, to this point in time, has not been able to do it for you, has it?
But it will.
Would you like to tell the viewing folks here on Prime Time Wrestling what Plan B might be?
I'm not Hulk Hogan. I'm not a fool. I'm not giving away any secrets here.
Not giving away any secrets, the $1 Million Man. Well, folks, that wraps it up for another week here on Prime Time Wrestling. Plenty of excitement in the air as it's New Year's Eve here at Caesars in Atlantic City. Right on. Have you been out on the boardwalk? It's nice out there.
I kind of stay in the casino, you know.
Kind of stay in the casino.
Yeah.
Are you up, down? How are you doing with your gambling?
I'm always up. Whether I lose or not, I'm always up.
You're always up. Money doesn't mean anything to you.
No, I like to go down there and watch all the peons, you know, spend their life savings.
Please. You think that's funny?
They take it so seriously, you know.
They're having a good time. Everybody has a good time here at Caesars on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. Next week, another interesting show lined up for you right here on Prime Time Wrestling. So until then, Gorilla Monsoon for the Stooge stand-in for Bobby the Brain Heenan. $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase. So long, everyone. Happy New Year.